Hello everybody, Manithral here, and welcome to the OSRS weekly update video. Now this week we have a chain log to go through, so we'll go through that. And we'll go and check out some of the pictures that go along with this to see if we can get more in-depth descriptors. But up first we have the Theater of Blood entry mode, so they changed how enemy hit point scaling work depending on the number of players. Entry mode runs now have unlimited attempts. Extra supplies will be given in the event of a wipe. There is no longer a charge for failing on an entry mode run. Increase in normal number of normal rewards received. Note that uniques are still unavailable in entry mode. A selection prompt will now appear the first time a player interacts with the recruitment board. Poll 78 rebalanced. The success chances of fermenting wine of Zamorak increase the number of coins that can be stored. Increase the number of coins that can be stored in the player in-house chest. Scarab swarms in the pyramid plunder will no longer attack you while trying to open the sarcophagus. Everyone now automatically opted out of gaining experience from pushing the Wheat in Purapuro. Players can opt in, talking to Elnok Inquisitor. Combat achievements. Added combat achievements to the Phantom of Muspa. Other changes. Loot keys will no longer be received if players are in trade screen. Keys will now be dropped where the player died. Remove the delay when depositing pay dirt into the hopper at the Motherlode Mine. The Slayer helper will now properly display your Wilderness Slayer streak. The 10th anniversary Dragon Candle has been correctly labeled as a fun weapon. There is now a fossil storage crate at the Volcanic Mine Bank. The Party Room Museum expansion can now be accessed on free-to-play worlds. The Dragon Candle Dagger and the Old School Jumper are now tagged as worn clothing. The animation that plays when waxing your sled will now cancel if the player moves. The Sins of the Father display case in the museum is now correctly labeled as a master quest. Having a Slayer task streak of 16,000 no longer means you will get the maximum Slayer points for every task you complete. Fix a typo in the Fog random event in the Warm Hands dialogue. Updated the banners in the Valor Party Room, and facial animations have been added to the certain birthday event dialogues. PvP Rhoda has moved to period B, so 560 UK PvP, 579 US high risk PvP, 561 UK free to play PvP, 580 US LMS competitive, and World 390 AUS LMS competitive is deactivated with this Rhoda. And then we also have the PvP is using a Zerker loadout with the ranked duels and tournaments for this week. So for a bit more detail, for the Theater of Blood first, the hit point scaling is 1 player unchanged, 2 players 90%, 3 players 80%, 4 players 70%, 5 players 60%. So with this change, 5 players will have hit points increase of 300% rather than 400%, as the percentages stack for every additional player. So 3 players would have a plus 170% increase. Base hit points is plus 90% and 80%. So something to keep in mind. So a foe with 100 points versus 1 player will have 400 versus 5 players before it would have had 500. So that is quite a bit of a change. Failure costs were initially a 100k fail, but this is now removed for the entry mode, which is quite a bit. And they increased the amount of the normal rewards in entry mode from 15% to 20%. So that is another one that is actually worthwhile. And here we got with all the wine in your bank, you might consider hosting a little party, in which case the next change will be very exciting. So it's been 16 years since they nerfed the chests in the player in house. So they say it's a bit of an opportunity to get a little bit more gold in there. So here's the new stats. So wood, 10k, oak, which is in the games room, is 20k, and dungeon, 20k. And teak is 50k, games, 50k treasure. Mahogany is 100k, games, and 75k dungeon. And magic is 100k in the dungeon. So something to kind of keep in mind. And as for the Muspa, the hard Phantom Muspa Adept, kill the Phantom Muspa. Elite Phantom Muspa Speed Trialist, kill the Phantom Muspa in less than 3 minutes without a Slayer task. Phantom Muspa Veteran, kill it 25 times. Can't Escape, kill the Phantom Muspa without running. Versatile Drainer, drain the Phantom Muspa's prayer with 3 different sources in 1 kill. More than just a ranged weapon, kill the Phantom Muspa by dealing damage to it with a salamander. Essence Farmer, kill the Phantom Muspa 10 times in 1 trip. Phantom Muspa Speed Chaser, kill the Phantom Muspa in less than 2 minutes without a Slayer task. Phantom Muspa Master, kill it 50 times. Walk Straight, Pray True, so kill the Phantom Muspa without taking any avoidable damage. Space is Tight, kill the Phantom Muspa while it is surrounded by spikes. Phantom Muspa Manipulator, kill the Phantom Muspa whilst completing Walk Straight, Pray True. Space is Tight, and Can Escape. And Phantom Muspa Speedrunner, kills the Phantom Muspa in 1 minute, less than 1 minute and 30 seconds without a Slayer task. So keep that in mind. And there is a Crack the Clue 3, which says as follows. Usually too many, but sometimes too few. One is perfect and one is empty too. A second match lies in the story of the past, but in a different direction than the last. And that is actually it though this week, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, later guys.